Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's check out Turok 2 Seeds of Evil on Nintendo Switch. Ah yes, the infamous Turok 2. Let's see if the years are kinder to this game. The original release on the N64 was, unfortunately, rather overambitious. The Nintendo 64 couldn't quite handle this game as it was, so it ran at a very, very questionable frame rate. And while it had more detail and larger environments and overall kind of a better looking world, unfortunately it just ran much worse than the original Turok. Oh, you picked the PC audio. That's actually pretty cool. Still, the whole thing's so goddamn loud. Okay, so I will actually turn off the head bobbing. I never really did like it. The thing about the head bobbing in Turok 2 is that it was just slightly uneven. So the right side bobbed just a little bit more than the left side, giving the impression that Turok was limping all the time. I don't know, maybe he just had a giant wang. It's hard to say, but yeah, I never did like it, and it's nice that there's an option to actually remove it this time around. Turn bobbing, yeah, I don't really care about that. The underwater bobbing, yeah, that's a pretty annoying feature too. Alternate weapon bobbing, I think I'm okay with that. Fast warp between levels? I wonder if that screws anything up. Ledge grabbing. Is that a thing in Turok 2, the original release? I have a hard time remembering. It was quite a while ago that game came out. It was nice to see the game at a frame rate, greater than 23 frames. Although most of the time that game ran at like 20 frames, somewhere around there.
Greetings, Turok. I am Adon. The elders of the Lost Land, known as the Lazarus Concorders, have charged me with the task of guiding you on your quest to stop the Primagen. The Primagen seeks to destroy the 5 energy totems that keep him imprisoned within the wreckage of his light chip. If he succeeds in destroying all 5 energy totems, he will be freed, and the blast wave of temporal energy unleashed will destroy your universe. You must stop the Primagen, Turok. Protect the energy totems at all costs. You will also be given additional mission objectives as you venture deeper into each of the worlds that you must explore. The Port of Adia. This once peaceful coastal village has been utterly destroyed by the Dinosaur army under the Primagen's command. In the hills surrounding the city, the battle wages on as stragglers are hunted down ruthlessly. The dinosaurs are genetically engineered dinosaur hybrids. They are utterly evil and very dangerous. Though they do the Primagen's bidding, the dinosaurs have a more sinister and personal agenda of their own, to see humankind wiped from the face of the earth. Your mission objectives are as follows. Activate 3 distress beacons. Rescue 4 children.
Oh yes. Turok, help!
Activate the warp portals. Locate the energy totem and defend it at all costs.
Oh, let's see. What are the controls? This is a game that you could easily get lost in. I mean, of course, the technology behind the N64, while it did give you a fair amount of variety, and the engine allowed for a rather large amount of textures, things were still pretty samey looking after a while. Although, to be quite fair, I mean, this game is still pretty impressive if you consider the era of video games at the time and other first-person shooters, especially on the original PlayStation. I mean, they were nowhere near as advanced as this. At the time, the soft-skinning textures were the big deal. You can see even here, you don't get a lot of warping. Things are basically looking the way they're supposed to. Whereas on the PlayStation 1, you know, you would see often a lot of polygon breakup and texture warping. So it is nice to see that at least that's preserved. Unfortunately, some of the physics on the enemies is toned down a bit. So unlike the original Turok, you can't just bounce around your enemies with the with a grenade launcher, which was a ton of fun. And that was one of the things that made that game, honestly. The enemy AI is a little bit more sophisticated this time around too. They don't enemies don't run quite directly at you. They sort of shift around a little bit. Although there was only so much variance. I mean, even after a while of playing, you could sort of predict where they were going to move. But again, it was certainly more advanced than Turok 1. And here the headshots do matter. Although sometimes some enemies take more than one headshot. But the damage increase is definitely there.
Flashlight.
It's a real shame that this series didn't manage to survive over time. They did try to reboot it during the 360 era, but that game ended up being incredibly disappointing.
Turok, help!
I see what I mean.
Two lives remaining.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you actually had lives in this game. Like, the game isn't hard enough as it is. You know. 'Cause it's a pretty challenging game. Part of that's just because you get lost in the game. I mean, it's such a... the levels are so big. And not big in the sense of like a Halo where there's like a ton of empty space. But here, really, there's a lot of nooks and crannies that you have to go to. And a lot of different pathways that you have to memorize. So strangely enough, the scale of this game feels larger than first-person shooters made later, where the games, the levels were literally bigger, in terms of square acreage. But this game feels bigger because there's really you have to go to so many different places. Yeah, the music's still quite good. Even the original sound from the N64 still sounds. The cage is open.
Child rescued.
Thank you, Turok.
Oh god, it's nightmare fuel there. Well, I rescued you, but I can't do anything about your face, kid. Sorry. And yes, it was always nightmare fuel, even on the N64. I thought it was a different road. See, I'm already getting lost. What door did I go through? I know a lot of things that we find fairly commonplace in first-person shooters is actually are in this game as well. But the games that released at the time of this game, certainly in the first-person shooter realm, were nowhere near as advanced. So this was a pretty groundbreaking game at the time. I think it's still fun. It's just the level design is just a little frustrating sometimes, especially with the way they hide stuff. I mean, this switch, most people easily walk by. It's just hidden in such a way that you wouldn't normally hit that crevice, you know, unless you knew to look for it. So you would walk past that thing, you know, for many minutes, not understanding how you or where it is that you didn't hit a switch. You know, at least that was my first experience when I played this. Shit, dinosaurs. God, they're annoying. Actually, it is nice being able to play this release as it is. I said the original N64 is a very flawed release. This basically improves upon everything from the technical side and the ability to switch off some of the games, like all the head bobbing and stuff that I didn't find pleasant. It's nice to be able to get rid of that stuff. And while the draw distance was actually pretty good in the original release, it's also nice to see that it's expanded here as well. I think it was part of the problem was that this game, again, it was just too ambitious for the hardware. And so while they addressed the issues with all the fog in the original game, unfortunately that sent the frame rate plummeting in this game, while it was attempting to draw more than the system could rightfully handle.
Ultra hell.
I don't know if I would have made those same design decisions like Iguana made at the time. I mean, I just would have just left the fog in there. Hope it would go buzz off. This game also had the ability to use the expansion pack, I believe, the one that came with Donkey Kong Country. And you could play in high res mode, if I remember right, which was sort of this squished letterbox mode. You know, while things technically looked better, because the screen real estate was much smaller, it also made the frame rate plummet, even though it had less to draw. So, I don't know. Like I said, the original release was pretty flawed. The base game is still fun, though. I mean, really, to be fair. Get on that? That's weird. Nah, oh well, what the hell am I doing? I spent hours doing that. Just obsessed with stupid stuff.
Distress beacon activated.
Why do I hear a horse somewhere? Oh. Oh, what the hell happened there? Oh, that's the hook.
Shotgun.
Oh, that's pretty satisfying. This is also in the age where you didn't have to reload. So I particularly like this age of first-person shooters. They followed the Doom model. Although I love reload animations. I think reload animations are cool. It's also annoying. I know some people will say, well, that's not very realistic. I mean,
Distress beacon activated.
and I will say I'm walking around in the past shooting man dinosaurs with a shotgun, so I'm not sure where reality kind of fits into here. And again, during this time in gaming development, it really wasn't all that common to have enemies, throw grenades at you and duck behind objects. That seems weird now, since it's such a commonplace piece of AI, but it really was not commonplace at all. I mean, enemies back in these days would just run right at you. If you think of the time period with the Dooms and the Duke Nukem's. This really was doing a lot. It just suffered, again, I really can't stress that enough. It really did suffer technologically. This game did not run good. We sort of put up with it because it was fun, and the selection of games on the Nintendo 64 was so low. Yeah, for somebody looking on the outside, seeing a game run this game run the N64 at the time, with its pathetic frame rate. I'm sure there were folks who didn't own the N64 which didn't understand the appeal of it.
Greetings, Turok. How may I assist you? Ammo granted.
That's right, you have like a mid-level cheat. Such a weird thing. I think you knew people were having a hard time with this game. Look at that. That's still awesome, really. I mean...
I am Turok!
Yes, I know everything looks like Jello gelatin, but still. I think it's actually hard to get that very satisfying sound and illusion of impact in the game. This one does manage it. I think the original Doom managed it as well. But something like, say, at least at the time, like a Duke Nukem or later on a Medal of Honor, I mean, they never really felt like they were impactful. It's hard to believe that Medal of Honor was actually a large property at one point in time. Given that it's a completely dead series at this point. Well, I mean, just like this series too. This used to be a major property. You know, a minor hit as far as comics were concerned, but a major property for video games. And really, I think if it wasn't for this game, then Turok as a property wouldn't be as popular. Oh, by the way, you do have gyro aiming too, if you're wondering. That's why you occasionally see me move the controller. I think the gyro aiming is really cool if you're playing with the nunchuck combo. If you're playing with the Pro Controller, then it's a little harder to use the gyro aiming. Although it's still helpful. I think a lot of people who played Splatoon probably attest to that. I like it in that game too, but that game sort of builds around the motion control, so it feels really natural. I think this one feels pretty good too. It's just you can get some fine-tuned aiming, which you wouldn't necessarily get with the sticks. You know, honestly, it's something that the developer didn't even have to do, so it's nice that it's there. Just hidden shit all over this game. How the hell are you supposed to remember all this or know where this stuff is? I don't even know how I beat this game. It still baffles me to this day. How did I manage to remember all this stuff? You know, without all these visual markers.
Warp portal activated. This is a talisman chamber, a holy place that evil cannot enter. Activating the warp portals opens gateways to these ancient sanctuaries. Your quest will require you to locate 5 sacred talismans. The talismans will grant you immunity from certain types of danger and allow you access to new areas that must be explored. The spirits that watch over these chambers will require an offering of a mystical eagle feather before a talisman can be secured. There are 5 talismans and 5 eagle feathers that must be found as your quest unfolds.
Yeah, to Iguana's credit, they really did expand the game, giving you more things to do, you know, expanding the levels, you know, giving you more variety of weapons. So this is, you know, as far as design goes, a much better game than the original. But there is something about the original which ends up being more fun. And I think it is. I think it's just the little touches in the physics that make the original just a little bit better. But this game is still worth playing. I'm not saying that you shouldn't play this game. And I think I think a modern audience would look at the original. You know, not with the same fondness as somebody who played them in order. I think if you played them out of order and you played this game first, then Turok 1 would be less palatable. Really, because it just doesn't look as good.
Tech bow. Sniper capability enabled.
That's right. Do have to use the tech bow every once in a while. Okay, so we'll key to use it. Quite frankly, the shotgun is way more fun to play. But it does behoove you to use the, the tech bow once in a while. I need an artifact or something to do this. Yeah, I tried. Where do I go again? This way, I think? Feather yet. Oh, come on.
Flashlight. Flashlight. Child rescue.
Thank you, Turok.
Ah, damn it.
3 lives remaining.
I know, this place is so explodey. Explodey shells. So fun. I know, even the pistol seems kind of brutal, huh?
Greetings, Turok. How may I assist you? Ammo granted.
God, it's almost been
Game saved.
it's almost been an hour and I haven't gotten to the end of the first level. That's craziness, huh? Well, we stop it there. This is audap. You've been watching Turok 2: Seeds of Evil on Nintendo Switch. I think it's really good. If you like first-person shooters, it's got a big exploration element to it. All the weapons feel meaty and powerful. There's a large variety of them. The levels are almost too big for their own good. But again, if you like that aspect of searching and exploring, while also combining the first-person action elements, then it's still a really good game. It feels closer to Metroid than it does to the original Turok, which helps improve its life, I think. And now that the game runs at a reasonable rate, and you have additional options in order to improve the quality of the game, I think it's worth playing. So, if you're a fan of the game, and it's been a while since you played it, then this is certainly a good way to reintroduce yourself to it. If you are new to the series, I think this is a pretty good place to start from. I said I personally prefer the first game, but I think most people would prefer this second game now that it runs so well. So yeah, check it out for yourself. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.